In this section, I'm going to share with you the difference between testing existing trading systems versus designing new ones. I've already referred to the Enlightened Stock Trader Certification Program, which is where I take my students through the entire process of developing a brand new, unique, and profitable trading system that fits your personality, objectives, and lifestyle. That's developing a new trading system. How does testing existing trading systems that you find in a book or a magazine differ from that? Well, there's a couple of significant differences, and it all comes down to what you know as you move through the process. The first thing that you know is the system rules. Now, when you're designing a new system, obviously you know the system rules because you are designing those rules. For an existing system, you also know the rules, assuming they're fully disclosed. Now, if someone is talking about an existing system like a black box where the rules are not disclosed, that is not a trading system. That's a disaster waiting to happen. So I'm only talking about backtesting or using existing trading systems that are fully disclosed so you can actually see the rules and test them for yourself. I would never recommend anyone trades with a black box where they don't understand what the rules are. So for both new and existing systems, you understand what the rules are. You also know what the original market was that the system was designed for. So when you're designing a new system, you're going to do it on the market that you choose. And when you're testing an existing system, if the author is fully upfront, they should have explained which market they developed the system for. And in a lot of cases, in a lot of literature out there, it's going to be for the US stock market. Now, for you US citizens out there, that's great. But if you're not trading the US time zone and you've got to trade other markets, then you can't just blindly take that system and apply it to the Australian market. Because different stock markets, different markets have different personalities. And even if you are going to take it and apply it to the US market, you still need to do the back testing because, I'm just not comfortable with having faith in someone else that what they publish in a book is actually still profitable. And we'll get to that and explain in more detail why. Now, here's the first difference. The process to come up with the rules. When you design your system, you know the steps that you've taken. So you can honestly evaluate your process and say, did I follow the steps that I was supposed to follow? But you don't know the process the author used to come up with their existing trading system. And so this is the first challenge. When you don't know the process that they used to come up with the trading system, you don't know if they've made mistakes that have caused the system to curve fit or inaccurate. And so we need to validate and test that the system is stable and robust in a different way because we don't know how the rules were determined. You also don't know how stable the parameters are. A lot of systems that are published have been very heavily optimized. And when you heavily optimize a system with lots of different rules, often what you'll find is that the parameters are not stable. So what's a simple example? Let's say you're trading with a moving average crossover and the system is written in a book and it says, you buy when the 10-day moving average crosses above the 200-day moving average and you sell when it crosses back below. Okay, sounds sensible and the backtest results in the book are amazing. That's all great. But you don't know if the 9-day moving average crossing above the 201-day moving average is profitable or not. And you don't know if the 20-day moving average crossing above the 180-day moving average is profitable or not. Because you didn't do the testing, you didn't do the design work. If you design a new system from scratch, particularly following the Enlightened Stock Trader certification process, then you know that those rules are stable. When you're picking up a system from someone else, you don't have that confidence. So you're going to have to test stability very carefully to make sure they are, because a system that's not stable is fragile and dangerous and will cause you financial pain in the future. The next point is about the significance of each rule. Now, trading systems, Einstein said that everything should be made as simple as possible, but no simpler. And I fully agree that applies in most areas of life, including your trading. You want to make your trading system as simple as possible so that every single component of your trading system makes a difference, is significant. Because if you've got extra things in there that aren't really that significant, then that's going to be just curve fitting. And in the future, your system will probably break and lose you money. So when you pick up a new system from a book, you don't know whether every component of that system is significant, and so you have to test it. And again, that's part of the process that I'm taking you through today, over the next couple of days. You don't know how curve fit the rules are when you pick up an existing trading system. Again, if you design it from scratch, you've followed the process, so you know you've avoided curve fitting. But when you're picking up an existing system, you don't have that confidence. And so we have to check for curve fitting as well. In-sample and out-of-sample data is really important. It's a really important part of the process of designing and backtesting a system. When you design a new system from scratch, you know the data that you've designed the rules and optimized the rules on, and then you take unseen data or out-of-sample data and you validate that the rules are profitable on unseen data. And that gives you an increased level of confidence in your system. But you don't know if the author did that or not. And here's a real risk. When you're picking up a system from a book, if the author has used the entire market to design and optimize the system, you're not going to have out-of-sample data to test it on, because he's burnt the entire stock market's worth of data. And so you've got to be really cautious here, because let's say you're picking up a system that is for the US stock market, and they've used the entire stock market to optimize and design the system. How are you going to ensure that that system works on unseen data? Well, you're going to have to go and test that on other markets and make sure that it's robust and stable enough to profit in other markets. Because if you don't, you're again putting blind faith that the author has done the back testing really well and avoided curve fitting and all of that. And frankly, to be honest, that's almost impossible to do. So you always need some out-of-sample data to test. So when you're testing existing systems, you're going to have to go create some out-of-sample data by getting data from other markets and so on to validate the system performance that you see on the original design market. So why use an existing trading system? Well, there's a lot of downside, right? In this slide we talked about this. There's quite a few drawbacks of using the existing trading system from a book, but there's a couple of really great reasons to use them, and this is why this course is so important. The first one, it gives you new ideas. I mean, if you've developed your own trading system and you've been trading that for a while, it's like you kind of get a bit indoctrinated into your own stuff. But picking up a trading system from another book can really inject fresh ideas into your trading. I mean, let me give you a personal example. I mean, I've been trading trend following for a long time, made a ton of money doing it. But I picked up a book on seasonality, trading at different times of the year and different times of the week. And man, there were some systems in there that just I would never have dreamt of. And I back tested them and I analyzed them using this process I'm sharing with you over the next few sessions. And man, some of those systems were amazing. And I could take some of those ideas and incorporate them into my existing systems, and I've done that and improved my profitability as a result. So it can give you great new ideas. It can also give you diversity. Having one set of rules and sticking to it is crazy, because things can change. And diversification is the investor's best friend. And so you can diversify by holding lots of different stocks, but you can also diversify by having several different systems to guide your trading. And you can really benefit as a result of that. Better systems? Maybe. I mean, if you pick up a system, it's quite possible that you could find a system that's better than the ones you're already trading. And if it is, then that's great. You can either add it to your portfolio, or you can replace the worst system in your portfolio with a new one, depending on how correlated they are. Sometimes it's better to replace, sometimes it's better to supplement and diversify the portfolio. But if you can find some good ideas, and I've found a few ideas in the past that are really great, and I've added them to my portfolio. But once you know how to design a really great system from scratch, pretty rare that you'll find a system in the public domain that's better than what you can design yourself. But when you're first starting out, or if you're trying to improve your portfolio, there's absolutely that potential, and particularly potential to improve your trading through diversification. If you're just starting out in the world of system trading, picking up an existing system and testing it can really speed up your process. It can help you by giving you concrete examples to trade by. You don't have to wonder whether those rules are coherent, consistent, compatible with each other. You can pick up that system, test it, validate it using the expert's guide to backtesting existing trading systems process, and assuming it works, then you can start trading with it, and that can really accelerate your journey. For your long-term development and security, stability as a trader, I'm always going to recommend you learn to develop your own trading systems, because your performance will be way better. You'll be far stronger as a result. But this is a really good place to start, or to supplement what you've already got. It provides continuous improvement, because by picking up new ideas, you can gradually refine the systems that you've got. You can gradually improve your portfolio by finding better and better ideas. So trading and investing for a living is not a once and done. This is a journey of continual investigation. I might spend 5, 10, 15 minutes a day doing my trading, which sounds like nothing. But I spend a lot of time thinking about trading systems and playing with ideas, because that's what I love. And, picking up existing trading systems from books and magazines and websites gives me that opportunity for continuous improvement. And it also allows you to expand into other markets. If you're trading just the US market and you want to expand into the Asian markets or the European markets for diversity, then picking up a trading system that was designed specifically for those markets is a really great way to do that. So there's some of the reasons why you should persist with backtesting existing trading systems. Yeah, there's some drawbacks that you need to be aware of, but with the right processes and the right approach to backtesting existing trading systems, you can get past that. And there's some really great benefits of backtesting existing trading systems.